Charles, good to see you. How are you?
Man, I'm doing good right now. Number one, I just want to wish everybody the best out there if they had in a COVID situation. That's obviously the number one thing going on in the world right now. But I've been very blessed not to have it and nobody in my family. So blessings and thoughts to everybody out there.
Great. Yeah. So you are, first of all, we're proud to add you to the Hall of Fame, the Sports Broadcasting Hall of Fame. You're in for the analyst category. You're probably wondering how you would get in ahead of Ernie Johnson, but that's why. So Ernie's in a different category.
Hey, listen, I'm just lucky. First of all, I can't believe y'all pay me to watch sports. Now y'all put me in the Hall of Fame. This is starting to get ridiculous right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, listen, I'm the luckiest dude in the world to get in this category, but to get paid to watch basketball is the greatest scam going in the history of civilization.
Indeed. So let me, I'm going to, let's go back to, because how long have you been, 23 years, 24 years? When did you start broadcasting?
No, 20 years.
20 years. Yeah.
And, and listen, anytime, number one, listen, the best thing about something like this, you get a chance to thank all the people. And the first person I want to thank is Dick Ebersol. He's my mentor. He's the person who came to me my last couple of years in the NBA, said, what are you going to do when you retire? I said, I'm just going to play golf and fish. And he said, no, I think you should go into television. I said, well, Dick, I hadn't thought about it. He says, well, I think you'll be great on television. He said, I know you're always going to be honest. He said, now you're always going to be in trouble. I said, what do you mean? He says, Charles, people really, when people tell you they want honesty, they really don't want honesty. They want you to tell them what you want that they want to hear.
Right.
He says, I think the way you've handled your career with the press, you're a straight shooter. You got in trouble for it plenty of times. He said, but I think it'll be great on television. So the first person I want to thank is Dick Ebersol for making me go in this direction. And I tell you, one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life. So I was going to NBC with Mr. Ebersol, and a friend of mine, Michael Jackson, said, hey, do me a favor, give me some street cred, come meet with the people at Turner. And I'm like, yo, man, I'm going to NBC. He said, just do me a favor and come meet with these guys. It'll make me look good. So I met with these guys, went out and had a great steak dinner, went and sit around and smoke cigars till 1 and 2 in the morning. And I said, well, what's your guys' goal when it comes to sports broadcasting? They're like, well, what's your goal? I said, well, I want to talk about sports majority of the time. But when social issues come up, I really want to be able to go there. Now, I'm not going to do it all the time because people don't turn on sports to watch social issues. And one thing, Kenny Smith gave me one of the greatest compliments of my life last year. He said, Charles, we're talking about all the social justice stuff that's going on now. He says, I got to thank you because before you came here, we were just a sports show. And when you laid down laws, we're going to talk about social issues. And that was one of the greatest things in my life. But to get back to my original question, I remember sitting with those guys about 1, 2 in the morning smoking cigars. And they're like, well, you won't be able to do that on NBC. I mean, you're only going to come on one day a week and you're going to have to go from basketball to commercial. And I remember getting back to my hotel about 2:30 in the morning, and I was really like, man, I think I really had an amazing time with these guys. And I called my agent. I said, yo, man, I really need to talk to you. I think I'm going to change my mind and go to TNT. And he says, well, what do you want me to do? I said, well, I tell you what, let me sleep on it. And I slept like an hour and a half. And I called him about 6 in the morning, and I said, yo, man, I'm going to change my mind and go to TNT. Best decision I ever made, working with obviously Ernie and David Levy back then and those guys. It was the best decision I ever made other than going to Auburn. But I remember calling Mr. Ebersol that morning and saying, hey, listen, and he was great. He said, those guys at Turner. I said, yeah, we just clicked. And he was great, but I always want to give him credit for leading me toward television. But, man, best decision going to TNT, and obviously working with Ernie Johnson and Kenny was amazing. And then Shaq came on. But the best thing about getting inducted and getting an award like this, I just want to give a shout out to Tim Kiley, the best director, producer, Steve Fiorello, Jeremy Levin, who we got right now, Steve Fiorello. I mean, it's so many guys. Alex and Underdog. Underdog tells me any stat in the world I need within 30 seconds. And Alex is the guy who put all our stupid faces on other people's bodies.
Right.
But I just want to thank everybody at TNT because this is their award. I mean, I think anybody who knows anybody who's in television, we probably do the least amount of work of anybody on a show.
Right.
Hey. So I want to thank all those guys for getting me into this Hall of Fame.
And I think you were really probably, in terms of your innovation was you were honest, right? But as you know, there's plenty of people who are quote unquote honest now, but they're just making noise and just sort of stirring the pot for the strong. You never really did that. I think, I'm 52, so I kind of grew up watching you, and that show just feels like it's honest. It's pure honesty. It's not just mixing it up for fun.
Well, I think it's important. Number one, I really want to thank you for that compliment, but I think it's because society in general, they believe what they see on television. It's like, and some of these guys, they're just trying to get clickbait now. They'll just say the stupidest thing about a great player, like, come on, man, you just saying that because you're going to find some idiots who agree with you.
Right.
And that's the one thing I don't want to do, because I tell people this all the time. There's somebody who's watching me in Montana, South Dakota, Maine, Rhode Island. They're going to be like, well, Charles Barkley said this about a guy. And I'm not going to make stuff up if it's not true, just to people to get clickbait. So, number one, just thank you for the compliment.
Sure. Well, I mean, and what do you see is the trick to how do you guys keep the energy, and the relationships are so fresh? You're obviously very playful and very self-deprecating and insulting to each other in the right spots. So.
Well, I think the main thing is we hope the game is good, because no matter what kind of sportscaster you are, the most important thing is the game.
Right.
And, we work from 8 to 2 in the morning. And let me tell you something. We pray every week, please have 2 good games. But, man, let me tell you something. We have 2 bad games. Those 6 hours we're on TV seem like 24 hours.
Right.
So the first thing we hope for is a good game. And the second thing is, well, first of all, we said, let's just get 1 good game.
Right.
But then if we got 2 bad games, we're brainstorming, because we're together the whole time throughout the night from, like I told you, we go on at 8, but we're there to 2. And, like, we let the game play out. And then we're like, this is going to, because you're trying to get people to stay there the whole time.
Right.
So the number one thing is, like, when we have bad games, it's all hands on deck. Like, hey, anybody got a good idea? Wait, anybody got a bad idea?
Bring it.
Hey, we start out with, hey, does anybody have a good idea? And the second thing is, hey, if you got a bad idea, we'll listen to that. But the number one thing, we want to keep the integrity of the game. But Ken, let me tell you something, man. When it's a shitty game, those 6 hours we on, it's like going to the dentist, man. It's a long night.
Right. So before we leave, I wanted to kind of have you talk about Craig Sager, because December 15th, this is the 4th anniversary of his passing. Stacy's going to say a few words later, and the kids are here also on this call. What did, because I know you guys were close, and I think you visited him when the doctors told you not to visit him. So
yeah,
what did Craig, and did you deal with him as a player also? I'm sure.
Right? Yeah, that's how old I am. He interviewed me as a player. One of the reasons I love Craig Sager, man, you should enjoy your job. You should enjoy your job. I told my daughter, shout out to Villanova and Columbia, way to get my daughter ready for the world.
Okay.
I said, she comes to me and she says, Dad, what do you think? I said, Christina, college is the last time you're going to have fun in your life depending on your job. And I said, you graduate in a job that you're going to have to do for the next 30, 40 years. That's what college is. You're like, I got to find something that I want to do for the next 30, 40 years. If you don't enjoy it, life is going to suck. I've never seen Craig Sager come to an NBA game. And let me tell you something. And he wasn't in a great mood, and he wasn't dressed. immaculate. Even some of it was crazy. It was still immaculate. But even this guy loved this thing so much, he didn't even tell people. He was going through chemo and radiation and driving 2 hours to cover a basketball game. I mean, only the people at TNT knew that.
Right.
This guy was taking chemo and radiation and driving because he loved the life and the game so much. And you got to admire and respect that. I mean, because I've had friends who did radiation and chemo. They're like, yo, man, I'm in bed all day. This guy did it in the morning and drove hours to broadcast a game at night. But the reason I just admired the guy is just that guy loved coming to work. And if more people love their job, the world would be a much better place.
Yep. Absolutely. Excellent. Well, thanks, Charles, so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Stay safe. Good luck with the season. My big Brooklyn Nets fan,
it's
so
here.
really-
It's here. Hey, I want to
Yeah.
thank you guys for taking the time. And the guy I was talking to earlier, tell him thank you for his time also, man. And you guys stay safe. And as I tell everybody when I finish my interviews, wear a damn mask.
Exactly. Awesome. Be well.